when the clock hits 13. You've been working, but you're flirting with the weekend. You can freak out. 1 in a million. You're a gem shine when the light grows dim. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 'Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it.
Hey guys, welcome. We are getting a mega storm here, so hoping my power doesn't go out, or I guess if it does, you'll know why. How are you today? Hey guys, thanks for joining me live. I'm going to do a little educating today on some of my favorite natural health products. So if you have any friends in your life that are interested in removing this specific plug of the system, tag them, have them jump in. I'm going to share some great info with you. This would be a great class for those of you that are new to a natural health lifestyle, or if you are in doTERRA. I'm going to share some of my favorite products to use in the summer. I think what I'll do before we jump in is I will share with you here, and I'll pin it. There we go. What I'm going to be sharing with you is a kit of products that I put together of my summer favorites. If you want to get started in doTERRA, then you can click there, and I've got the picture. It'll look like this. This is a custom summer kit. I'm going to go through the products in this with you guys today. But before we do that, just wanted to see who we have on live. I see some of you are streaming in from places where you also have a storm. Yes, it is like getting super dark out. I don't know if you can even hear it starting to thunder. It's getting a little wild out there. So hopefully I can keep the connection going here. We have just been having a beautiful Sunday. Sunday is my favorite day of the week. Got some bread cooking. Gonna have a nice dinner tonight. And I really like this time hanging out live with you guys. I was getting into a rhythm of doing what I called coffee dates. Got some coffee here. And we would often just hang out, do some Q&A. Sometimes I would have a topic that I'd bring to the table that we could discuss. And I actually did have a topic I wanted to share with you guys today, but I ran out of time. I was going to hop on and do a different live today on what you had shared with me over the course of yesterday to today into that Q&A box that I had put up around doing something unpopular in the last 2 years. And so many of you commented, and I want to go through your responses. And I think I'll either hop on tomorrow or Tuesday to just talk about why I think that really is the key right now, is to do something that is so true to who you are, especially if it's not popular. Because that is the secret sauce that's going to bring us through this time, this age, if you will. So anyway, that is not the topic today. I will probably come back on here later this week, tomorrow or Tuesday, and talk about that a little bit more and read some of your responses with each other. I think it's great to be an encouragement and a light in this time. But today's topic, I want to, if you're just hopping in now, I want to talk about some of my favorite natural health products that doTERRA has that I've put together as a summer starter kit for you if you want to get started with doTERRA in this way. As you guys likely know, doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world, the most trusted essential oil company in the world, just because of how they lead with such integrity and the transparency around the sourcing and the quality testing, and that has positioned them to be able to be such a household name today, right? So a lot of you probably started with doTERRA because of the oils, or maybe you just know the brand because of the oils. What I want to go through today with you are a few oils, yes, but some essential oil infused products that I love. And doTERRA, I've been using doTERRA now for, let's see, 2013 I started, so we're looking at almost 10 years. And this is one of the brands that I have in my home that I would be really bummed if I wasn't able to have access to it anymore. And that's actually a good a question to ask yourself sometimes of the things that we're buying is, if that went away tomorrow, would I be sad? And so one thing that was kind of sad is doTERRA launched their sun care line on July the 1st. We're now at July 17th, and 2 of the products sold out. It was kind of insane, the quantities that moved of this. And this was a product category that the community in doTERRA and customers that have just started with these products, they were asking for years. doTERRA was working on this product category for years, and it launched and blew through launch inventory. There is one product of the sun line that remains. It is the mineral sunscreen spray. I'm going to talk about this today. It's in the summer kit. But here's what I notice has been happening and is now really starting to crank in full force. Years ago, years and years ago, things like essential oils were seen as something woo-woo. A lot of people thought of them as just being pretty smells. And, some people would just write them off until they had their own experience with them, and until they ended up giving them the keys to be able to start stepping away one choice at a time, one product at a time from this greater system that does exist, which is constantly seeking to pull you away from your natural state. And this essentially, homeostasis in the body being in harmony, is the goal that your body is always seeking, right? And so we make decisions in our everyday life that pull it away from that. We live in a world where it's very hard to avoid a lot of these. Oh, this storm is really rampant. We live in a world where there are a lot of products that seek to pull us away from that. Unfortunately, right? It is just the way things are. There's a lot of money to be made in you being sick. This is a reality I think that a lot of us are now becoming aware of. We've come into this, I want to be careful with what I'm saying, but we're coming into this now, this higher awareness of how things actually work in the world. A very simple way of starting this process is just to follow the money when it comes to the marketing of things. And it's interesting because when you think about natural health products, one thing you need to realize is it's actually very difficult to get natural health products approved by these governing bodies. And you could liken that to the reality that when you go to the grocery store and you want to buy food that is organic, what do you guys know about that? Organic food is always going to cost more than the food that is infused with cheap chemical ingredients. So, you start to ask yourself, well, why is that, right? Why is something that is more natural costing me more? And a lot of that has to do with obviously cheap ingredients, but also there is an element of trying to grab you as a customer and keep you as a customer because one system feeds the next. So look at me going into this tangent. It's just, I'm very passionate about this topic because I know that when you start to pull the plug in some areas, it starts to affect the whole. And what I do get very excited about is when, somebody starts with, makes a decision to not be using, for example, a benzene-laden chemical sunscreen product that they might have been using for most of their life because it's what they bought, it's what their parents bought, it's the smell of sunscreen. And then one day they notice there's a recall on that product because it's actually contributing carcinogens to the bloodstream. And you start to ask, well, why would that be? Why would they create a sunscreen product that's going to actually contribute to the potential of me having cancer? Benzene is a known carcinogen. Why is it in sunscreen products? So everyone comes into this conversation, everyone comes into using and living a more natural lifestyle from very, very different directions. And the reason I'm opening up with this is because I love creating custom ways for people to start because I recognize that everyone comes into this with a different thing they're looking to solve, with a different frustration. Maybe your frustration right now is you don't want to use these products on yourself or your children. And so you're excited about the thought that there is something that works really beautifully and has very nice, clean ingredients supercharged by the purest essential oils in the world. Personally, I love the idea of, and I've made my own products for years when there wasn't a good, clean solution, but I would prefer to not do that. I would prefer to just buy products that I know I can scan that ingredient deck and know it's going to be beneficial to my body. It's going to have side benefits as opposed to side effects or even like worse, be actually harming my body. So I know so many of you are not new to this idea of looking for ways to reduce our toxic load and to find things that actually are solutions in our life that help us become healthier and get on that higher plane of living. Okay, so let's go through. I want to go through the products that I chose in this summer kit. And I'm going to go through each one. Some of them I'll spend a little bit more time on than others, such as the sunscreen. But I picked these products to be in this kit because they are some of my absolute favorites that doTERRA has. And yeah, let me know if I go through some of these, if these are your favorites. Erica mentioned she loves the new doTERRA sunscreen. It's phenomenal. In fact, so let's open up by talking about the sunscreen. We'll start with that one. And I typically have not been a sunscreen wearer. Let me just be totally straight up. I have never been impressed with the natural sunscreens that I've purchased. I don't want to mention brands, but you know, there are those companies out there that sell products and they might be really good in one product, like makeup, and then they launch a sunscreen product that has a clean deck, but I just don't like the way it goes on. I don't like the aroma of it. I just don't like the application. Yeah, the results were okay, but to be honest with you, I rarely need to be using sunscreen in my life because I time the amount of time I spend in the sun. How many of you do that? You try to get around 20 minutes, whether it be in the morning and then again later in the afternoon, maybe again towards sunset, where you don't have block on your skin. And I don't personally find myself in situations too often where I'm going to be out in the direct sun for like 30 minutes to an hour. So when this line launched a few weeks ago, I was excited for those times when I am going to be out longer. But here's what I found happened that I'm just so delighted about is it's encouraging me to be out in the sun more. And lately I've been just so drawn to being out in nature more, being in the frequency of the sun, being near the ocean. I think that is actually not by coincidence. I know a lot of you have probably been feeling that too, especially if you live somewhere where you have seasons and when the summer months come, you just want to soak that time up, right? Because it's actually so healing. It's so good for your body. The sun has been so demonized. And this is something you want to actually, again, start thinking about is why has the sun been so demonized? Why have skin cancers actually been accelerating and on the rise since the introduction of a lot of these chemical sunscreens? So the sun is not the enemy. Now, too much sun can obviously be harmful to your skin. So I want to go into a little bit of education around why these mineral sunscreens are so exciting. I first want to highlight the product I've chosen and I've put in the summer kit. This body mineral spray. And it's not an aerosol spray. It's actually just hyper contained, right? Like when you spray it, it will just, let me see if I can do a little bit here. When you spray it, it comes out just as a burst. And you can see the zinc oxide there just absorbs really nicely into the skin. Now, mineral sunscreen works different than chemical sunscreen. Okay, so let me explain a quick difference, and it's something that you will actually just love about these products is they go on so nicely and they create that protective layer on your skin, unlike chemical sunscreens that you know 95% of the sunscreens on the market. We'll just refer to those as chemical sunscreens. Obviously, every ingredient, everything's a chemical in nature, but what I'm trying to distinguish them by is a mineral-based sunscreen versus a typical chemical sunscreen. Mineral sunscreens, what they do is they essentially deflect the rays. They create more of that protective shield, whereas chemical sunscreens are absorbed by your skin. They don't stay there. They're actually absorbed into the skin and then they block the rays. And so this is a unique problem when we're talking about sunscreens that have ingredients like benzene that are being actually absorbed into the body. Okay, so the mineral sunscreens actually end up staying on longer. This is why you actually don't need to go above an SPF, a sun protection factor, of 30. Because this is what you'll see. A lot of these chemical products will have upwards of 50, 55, right? The protection is actually misadvertised. It's so negligible, the amount of additional protection you get with those higher sunscreens. But the reason they actually jack them up that high is because they don't do as good a job as a mineral sunscreen in protecting, in deflecting the sun's rays. So there are 3 products doTERRA launched. I mentioned that the 2 of the 3 have sold out. Now this is just initial sellout. They will be back in stock, but I want you to know about them. So I mentioned the sunscreen spray already. This is meant to be a body spray, although you could use this on your face. I'll go through the ingredients in this in just a moment. Then there's a face and body stick. This is like a nice, easy application. I actually really love this on the cheek area because it almost goes on like a highlighter. So it's really pretty, but really pretty application on the skin. But it's easy to apply, you know, nice when you're on the go. And then there is a face and body lotion. Okay. And again, these 2 are sold out, but what I put in the summer kit is this sunscreen spray. So I took some notes. I just didn't want to forget to mention a few things about these products. And yes, Susie is right. She said you can actually protect your skin from burning with your diet. So inside out protection is a real thing. Coconut oil, astaxanthin, and wild salmon work wonders for the skin. I approve that message. That is a great reminder to everybody. When we are consuming a lot of polyunsaturated fatty acids, high omega-6s in the diet. So in a lot of packaged foods, for example, you will actually notice that you oxidize faster. So what we eat really does matter. Fats are very important in the diet, but it needs to be the right kinds of fats. So thank you, Susie, for bringing that point up. That's a great point. Okay. So what I want to go through about this is just some quick education on what's happening. So when we are out in the sun, there are 2 types of rays we're concerned with. And really the more ideal times to be out in the sun would be before 10 a.m. and after 2 to 3 p.m. Because from 10 to 2 is when the sun's rays are going to be highest in that UVB, which is like the burning rays. Okay, so these products, and whenever you're looking at sunscreens, you'll notice certain labeling on them. They'll say what you're really wanting to look for is broad spectrum protection from UVA and UVB. So UVA and UVB. UVA, if you think of like the A in that as contributing to more aging. So here, you know, and that's typically going to be outside of that time clock window of 10 to 2. UVA rays, if we get too much of them, it can over time contribute to aging. So you're damaging the collagen in your skin. It's working on a deeper level, whereas the UVB is that quicker burn on the top layer, that epidermal layer of your skin. So when you're out in the sun from 10 to 2, for example, for too long, without block, and most people will find that you can go up to about 20 minutes without sunblock. It's actually good to figure out what your personal sensitivity is there, and see if your skin is starting to turn that little bit of that pink color. That's when you know it's time to either put some covering on or some sunblock or just come out of the sun. Now you can play with that window a little bit. It's ideal to get outside every day for around 20 minutes without block on or covering on part of your skin to help your body. I mean, there are so many things that are turned on by the sun in our body, primarily our D levels, which is actually a hormone, but our D levels, serotonin. The sun is just, it's almost, I hesitate to say this because it's not an exact comparison, but if you think about photosynthesis, if you think about what a plant goes through, that it literally needs the sun's energy in order to convert and to create that life force, our bodies really work the exact same way. And so to be avoiding sun, or to be living in these times that we live in when we're getting so much artificial light coming at us, we have to find that antidote. And that antidote in our life is the sun, to all of the time we're spending indoors and on screens. And so back to the different types of rays. So 95% of what we're getting hit with by the sun is UVA, and it's always present. And this is what tanning beds, for example, give. So you're avoiding that UVB when you go to a tanning salon. But the reason you want broad spectrum, something that is blocking UVA and UVB, is because when that UVB is coming through, you need to have protection. So these products do that. They're a broad spectrum UVA and UVB. Now, I mentioned earlier that 95% of the market, of the sunscreen market, is made of those chemical sunscreens. And again, these are absorbed into the skin. So you want to be very aware of what ingredients are in those products, because they are being absorbed by the skin, whereas these mineral sunscreens are not. They deflect, they help to scatter the rays, and they form a nice shield on your skin. And these products specifically that I'm speaking to, they wear really nicely. So let us know in the comments if you have received these already. I don't know if any of you were able to purchase these ones specifically before sellout, but I'll go through the ingredients in these while you guys comment away. The one that I put in the summer kit is the body spray. So listen to this ingredient deck. So non-nano zinc oxide, that's important, okay? Especially because we don't want, again, that being absorbed by the skin. When you see nano zinc, it's so micro that it's being absorbed. So this is non-nano zinc oxide. It has avocado oil, raspberry seed oil, aloe vera, turmeric extract, jojoba esters, and vitamin E. So that one of the things that you'll notice if you've ever really read skincare or have developed some DIY recipes for your skin, the oils and ingredients in this line most mimic the skin sebum. So jojoba oil, for example, is a great carrier oil for using on the skin, and we have jojoba esters in this. We have vitamin E. Now let's talk about the essential oils that are in them. This is what makes doTERRA products next level, you guys, is that the products, they have these clean ingredients in them, but then they're supercharged with specific essential oils that bring the constituents into that product that we want to tap into for specific reasons. And so everything's intentional. When doTERRA makes a product, the essential oils that they use, they're using because of the constituent, or a constituent is like an ingredient in an essential oil that gives a desired effect in the body. And this is why when we're talking about doTERRA oils, we're not talking about pretty smells. Of course they smell beautiful. Nature is perfect, right? By design. But doTERRA oils, because they are actually the plant extracts, not somebody concocting something in a lab to make it smell a certain way. Now we're working with actual constituents. So the skincare line, some of them have some different essential oils. This spray, for example, And I think it does list all of, yeah, it does have them on the back here as well. You'll see it's just very hard to read. So I printed out the product info page. But in here we have frankincense, helichrysum, ylang ylang, magnolia, lemongrass, mandarin orange peel. It's hard to describe the aroma. It's just perfectly mellow, soft. It just wears beautifully. It doesn't smell like those Tropicana baby sunscreens. What were those ones back in like the 80s and 90s where you had like the zinc sunscreen stick? They all had a smell to them, right? So let me just read through and see if any of you have had these products come in already. Oh, nice. Colleen said they also don't feel like they block my skin. So thankful I got them. I've been waiting. Colleen says, I love them. I'm a redhead with fair skin and I don't burn with them. Yeah, my kids. So my youngest, Emmy, she has these gorgeous freckles on her face and these products work so nicely. I'll mention too that this spray, this just reminded me because I have kids who love to be in the pool. It provides water resistant protection for up to 80 minutes. So obviously if you're the thing with mineral sunscreens, by the way, is you don't want to rub them in too much because they're creating a nice barrier. So if you're applying on your face, for example, you wouldn't want to be too aggressive with any makeup you're putting over top. But when this comes back in stock, guys, this face and body stick, this is ideal as a face primer under your makeup. And you just want to be a little bit lighter in your application of your makeup. Kim says, I've used the spray and the face and body stick and I love both. Awesome. Leela just got hers. Jessica says, love them. Oh, hey, Jessica. Okay. Yes. Loving the versatility of the spray. The spray is awesome and it is still in stock. So this is why I put it in this summer kit. So let me know if you guys have any other questions. I just want to see if there's anything else I wanted to mention from my notes for you. But just gorgeous ingredients, you guys. And this is the thing I love so much about doTERRA is they take their time properly crafting products, really looking into the research. I'll tell you this right now. There's a line launching this fall. We just went through a product call as leaders, and it is so exciting. I'm so excited about it. I'm actually doing a bit of a pilot with it right now. And the reason I'm bringing that up is there's so much intention and research that goes into every ingredient that goes into the products doTERRA creates, and they do take their time on it. And so anyway, these products will be back in stock. I just spent a lot of time talking about sunscreen. Let's move on to the next product I put in this kit, and it's the beautiful body spray. I'm actually wearing this right now. I was out in the sun probably about an hour ago for 20-30 minutes because I'm building my tolerance now that we live in an area where we have sun all year round. I'm looking at kind of playing with my edge with when my skin starts to go that pink and might be approaching a burn situation. So I like to do that every day. And I actually wear this body mist when I'm doing that out in the sun. And I am obsessed with this product. It's been around for a few years, but it has such beautiful lipids in it, plant oils and essential oils, and it's so nourishing for the skin. So I find it really hydrating when I'm just getting out of the shower. I'll spray it on, and it has this 360-degree technology where you can like spray it upside down or however you're holding it. But the reason it's in the summer kit is it's not only really nourishing post shower when your skin's a little bit damp, it just seals that moisture in, but I love it when I'm going out in the sun without block on, because it's just very nourishing to the skin. It gives your skin this really nice, again, I put this on like an hour and a half ago, and I think you can still see when I turn, it just gives the skin this really nice glow. But not only that, it smells gorgeous. I want to read you, so it has the plant oils in it are sunflower oil, avocado oil, and passion fruit, all which help to soften and hydrate the skin. It has caprylic triglycerides, coconut derived. So again, it's just nourishing. Every ingredient in this matters. And then the essential oils that it has in it, frankincense, bergamot, osmanthus, passion fruit we mentioned, lime. It's just beautiful. So yes, someone asked, will you do a list at the end of all these products? If you actually go to the comment I pinned there, wholefit.com/oils, you'll see the products I'm going through with you guys right now that are in a summer kit I created. But I just thought this would be fun to do. I know we have people on here who are already customers in doTERRA. Maybe you've been using doTERRA for years and years, and you're curious, like what are those other products that don't get talked about too often? And I love these for summer, so I thought it'd be fun to do this overview with you guys. So again, I use this every day. When I get out of the shower, I'll do a light kind of moisturizing, and then definitely when I'm going to be out in the sun and I'm not wanting to actually block the sun, this works really nicely with that. Yeah, someone asked, is lime okay in the sun? Typically no, and I'm glad you brought that up. Citrus essential oils like lime, grapefruit, wild orange, lemon are not good to apply topically in the sun. Like let's say you're making your own lotion and you added a citrus oil, a doTERRA citrus oil to it, it's going to make you more sensitive, and that's because citrus essential oils have something called fucomerins. I think I said that right. It's a very long word. Fucomerins. When doTERRA uses citrus oils in a topical product, they use a process to remove the fucomerins so that it doesn't make you sensitive. And the reason you might ask, well, why bother? Why even use a citrus oil? This comes back to the constituents. There are various constituents in citrus essential oils like limonene that are desirable to have in the product. And this is what's so cool about working with natural products, like what I'm sharing with you is they're not synthetic versions. You can see products that will have synthetic limonene in them. But again, when you're constructing something in a lab, it's never going to quite have the power that you harness when you use nature in the form that it is, right? Look at nature. Could we ever come up with something as stunning as what nature does without any kind of playbook, right? It's just doing its thing. It's beautiful. Okay, next product I want to talk about is the TerraShield spray. Now, if you live in an area where it's summer right now, and you're outside, you're on the patio more, you're having get-togethers outside, and you've got a lot of mosquitoes, this is going to be your best friend. Now, TerraShield comes as a spray. It also comes as an essential oil blend. But I'm going to talk about a different oil in a few minutes, which is just straight up citronella for that. So I wanted to give you two options, and when they're coupled together, they work really well. The reason I love this spray is because it has the oils that are in TerraShield. So we've got citronella, lemongrass, thyme, cedarwood, geranium, and peppermint in a base of carrier oil. And it's just a nice, easy spray application. Okay. This is going to be about as the best you're going to ever find when it comes to an insect repellent and a beautiful aroma profile. Typically, you don't want to go around smelling like Off-Skin-tastic or whatever. I can't remember what other things are out there. Not to throw it under the bus, but again, we're talking about like what are we putting on our skin and what are we absorbing from the ingredients in that product. We need to be more mindful in this area because this is an area where we can have great control. There's a lot of things in our world we cannot control. What we're putting on our skin, we can. So TerraShield it's obviously a very specific application, but I put it in this summer kit because it just has this nice natural woody aroma. Some of you are commenting that you love the smell of this blend, and it's in a base of carrier oil, which is nice for easy application. And again, it's going to be slightly moisturizing. It's going to create a bit of a barrier on the skin so that it doesn't just evaporate off your skin, flash off, and then the bugs are back at you. Now, I'll talk about citronella in a moment. So citronella is in the TerraShield blend, but I'm going to talk about something I like doing with this specifically when you're sitting out at night. So I'll come back to that. Okay, the next product I put in this summer kit is the Deep Blue Stick. How many of you have tried this? It's magical. So this is actually doTERRA's. It has OTC labeling on it, over-the-counter labeling. It's a recognized product for pain relief. Okay. Now this stuff is pretty magical because it has a very instant effect on the body. This is part of, doTERRA has a line of products, the Deep Blue line, right? A lot of you have used the Deep Blue, I don't know if I have it here, the Deep Blue lotion, or maybe you've just used the Deep Blue roller bottle or the oil blend. They launched this last fall, and this is probably what you'll go with from now on, although you can layer the products. You can use this stick and then you can apply the lotion after if you want to like drive in a deep, cooling, soothing pain relief situation. But this is going to be generally what you'll grab when you're on the go. I've had a little bit of a tension situation going on all day because of the storm. I get that sometimes when we've got some heavy rains coming in, and I just get a little achy. This is so brilliant for just quick application. And what I like about this versus the lotion is you don't get any on your hands. It can just, you can use this to actually massage in. So I'll go through what's in this, but basically what you want to know is this has the highest amount of plant-based menthol in a product. It's very cooling, very soothing. doTERRA, yes, Tani, doTERRA also put copaiba in it. So copaiba oil, as you may know, is often compared to CBD because of the beta caryophyllene that is naturally found in copaiba. So BCP is also something that is very soothing when you are experiencing any pain and tension, right? So they've stacked that in with this blend. So Deep Blue blend is in this stick, obviously. So we're talking peppermint oil, camphor, eucalyptus, blue tansy, ylang ylang, helichrysum, and then the copaiba they added in. Wintergreen, how did I forget that? Wintergreen is obviously what's giving it the high menthol component. So this is really life-changing for people that are dealing with consistent, even chronic pain, right? The reason I put it in the summer kit is because it's just great if your kids are out playing more sports, for example. It's great for growing pains in the body. It's just so easy to use, and that's what we're kind of looking for in summer. We just want to go with the flow, not be labored by applying a lotion. Although I will say the lotion is a little more intense, I personally have found. So if you're really looking for an experience, you could drive it in further, like I said, with the lotion. But this is non-greasy. You'll love it. I don't need to sell this product at all. Nobody does. It does what you want it to do. Yeah, road trips, exactly. Erica said, cypress oil and the Deep Blue stick have been helping with the pain on the top of my feet. I'm really impressed and grateful. Yeah, it feels so good to find something that is natural. It's helping your body come back to healing as opposed to distracting it and giving us these side effects and making us dependent. I mean, the pain relief category is massive, right? I mean, it's unfortunately so many people end up getting hooked on synthetic medications, and it just leads to this onslaught of other issues. And so if we can work with something that's helping our body feel relief while not contributing to a greater problem, then that's a great thing, right? Kim said, I use it for sore wrists from computer work. Yeah, I keep this at my desk for that reason, because I like to be able to just apply it if I'm getting any kind of tension. I've got a foam roller in my office. I'll just put it on, roll it out. Yeah, you guys love this product. There's nothing left to say about it. It's just like, I had to put it in this kit. Okay, so moving on. On Guard wipes I put in here. How many of you have used these? Again, this is like a no-brainer. It's just nice to have, especially in a summer kit when we're on the go all the time. So I keep one of these in my gym bag. I keep one in the car. And then if we're traveling, so usually I just keep it in the car, in my gym bag. But if we're traveling, they're obviously really convenient. They make this, in single, single sealed wipes, which is a little easier than carrying this around if you're traveling. But I love the simplicity of this. So these have 70% ethyl alcohol, and then of course are infused with doTERRA's On Guard blend, which is the ultimate immune support blend, right? They smell amazing. They're so clean, but I just wanted to share how I like using them. So obviously they're great for cleansing hands when you don't have access to soap and water. Even having access to just water is very beneficial. Friction is great. But if you don't have access to that, then that's where these come in, right? But they're also really great for cleaning other things. The two things that I obsessively use these for are cleaning computer keyboards, even screens, because the moisture, the little bit of the spray moisture on these flash off really quick. So I'll often wipe fingerprints off of screens, devices, phones. And then the other area I love using these is in the car, because it's just enough to get into the little crevices in the car. So I'll wipe the steering wheel down, I'll wipe the dashboard, I'll wipe the screen in the car. So they're just super convenient. So I wanted to pop them in this kit because they're amazing. They work so well. Yes, airplane tray tables, exactly. So they're really great for travel. And yeah, they're just a no-brainer. Okay. Next, I want to, I guess what I'll finish by talking about a specific diffuser and some oils that I put in this summer kit. Okay, so let me just talk about this first. I had to include the peppermint roller bottle. And I'll share that, my intention in creating a kit like this is because I want to make it easy for you to get started. And this is why I wanted to do this pop-up class with you, is just to show you exactly how you would use the products once they arrive. Because I understand how overwhelming it can be. You don't know where to start. If you were to just start with a peppermint roller bottle, for example, from doTERRA, you'd be sold. You'd be like, all right, I don't need to know anymore. Just what else is there out there in doTERRA land, because this worked so well and I love it. So this is still to this day my favorite essential oil is peppermint. I just love the cleansing properties of it. It's so invigorating. It's so energizing. And it's one of those, it's such a multi-use essential oil, especially when it's just the straight up oil, not diluted in coconut oil. When you can use this all three ways: topically to cool your body down, help with tension. You can use this when it's just the oil. You could use it in your diffuser. It blends so nicely with citrus oils. And then internally, if you're dealing with any stomach upset, digestive upset, it has a very cooling effect internally as well. So I love straight up peppermint oil, but the reason I put the topical roller bottle in this summer kit is because it is what you're looking for in the summer. It's so cooling. So I want to show you guys one of my favorite hacks for when I just need to dial it up, feel a quick burst of energy, or to even just cool down. Maybe I'm feeling a bit of tension and I'm just feeling tired, and or I'm actually hot. I've just come in from our very hot afternoons here in Florida. So here's what I love to do. You grab this peppermint roller bottle, you start just up here and you trace your hairline on both sides. Then you go to the back of your neck, you go down both sides. And then you finish by going on the top of your hand. Okay? Just trust me. It's going to change your life. What it's going to do is it's going to start circulating right here. You're going to start to feel this cooling, energizing effect. It feels so good if you've got a little achiness going on, or you just need to wake up a little bit. And then doing it on the back of your hand, pressing it to your mouth, you're going to get a nice tingle going on. It'll give you some fresh breath there. You could even just give it a lick, clean it up. I'm obsessed. Yeah, not much more to say about that. This is going to be one of your favorite products, and that's why I wanted to put it in the kit. So there's just a few other oils I want to talk about before we close. So in this summer kit, I also put the Rome diffuser. How many of you guys have this guy? You can see there's no cord happening right now so I keep this in my office charging at my little oil bar behind me there. It's on a stand, but I keep it charged, and this is the diffuser I use in the office. But then when I want to take it around with me, let's say to the kitchen island, or let's say we're going outside and I want to diffuse something to help scatter the bugs away, then I can just easily take it with me. Now I wanted to share a quick tip with this. You'll notice how easy this lid is coming on and off. When you get this diffuser in, it's going to be really tight getting that lid off. And the reason doTERRA did that is they were picturing you literally grabbing it by the top and roaming around your house. I don't like going through this big tension situation every day when I use this. So what I actually did was I took the lid off, and there's a little plastic seal that just comes off. Okay, it's just a little tip there. So I'm going to actually diffuse with you here while I'm talking. So the reason that I included this diffuser is because it roams, right? So you want to be able to take it with you when you're going outside to repel bugs. So in this summer kit, I included a bottle of citronella. I'm not going to diffuse that right now because I'm like really close to it. It's an intense oil, but this is really great to have in. I would do 3 to 4, maybe 5 drops if you're in a bigger space in here while you're sitting outside, just enjoying your evening and not wanting to get interrogated by bugs. Okay, so citronella is in your summer kit. The one other cool use I'll give you for citronella on top of bug repellent is blonding. If you have blonde hair, it will actually brighten your blonde hair. So you can add a drop to your shampoo right in your hand. And whenever I'm looking to keep a bottle in various areas of my home, I'll just take this bottle and I'll grab an empty essential oil bottle. Always hang on to your empties, and I'll divide it up. I'll portion it out so that if I only have 1 bottle of citronella, I want to take it and now have it in 2 rooms of my home that way. Okay. So what I'm actually going to put in the diffuser are the other 2 oils that I'm including in the summer kit, and then that wraps up our summer kit. Okay. So I've included grapefruit and lime. Now, the reason I did this is these are such bright, happy essential oils. Citrus oils are, you can never go wrong with citrus oils, right? And they're multi-use. You can use them all 3 ways. But remember what I said earlier, you want to be careful applying citrus oils topically on your skin in the summer because it can make you more sensitive to the sun. So that's the one thing I'll just say here is be careful you're not putting these on your skin in lotions or even wearing as perfume. A lot of people like to wear essential oils as perfume. Just be careful that you put it somewhere that is not going to be exposed to the sun's rays. So back to the citrus oils. These are going to be great in your diffuser. What I would do here is 2 drops of grapefruit and 2 drops of lime. I would even, if you have any other oils, I would probably add to this combination either peppermint or vanilla. That would be a great round out for this blend, but these on their own are fantastic. You'll also use these guys in cleaning. You can make your own cleaners. I use citrus oils so much in our home. Oh my goodness. I'll add a couple drops to the sink at the end of the day as I'm cleaning the sink and cleaning the kitchen. I'll add a couple drops to our dish towels. Just helps to keep them purified a little bit longer. Internally, adding them to water. So I probably drink 5 or so of these 24-ounce mason jars a day. And all I tend to add to the water is a couple drops of a citrus oil or our metabolic blend. And then a few times a day, I'll add some minerals. First thing in the day, I'll add a little bit of sea salt. But anyway, they're so great in your water, and they're very cleansing because all citrus essential oils have the constituent limonene, which is very cleansing internally. So one tip I'll give you with citrus oils though, store them in the fridge. So I keep where I have like the butter and a few other like chlorophyll, a few other health things. I keep them on the same row together in my fridge, all of my citrus oils, because they don't go bad, but they just start to lose their potency quicker than other essential oils. They're just not quite as stable. So you'll notice if you leave a bottle of citrus oil out on your counter for a year, you'll probably notice it starts to evaporate quicker. Okay. And it'll actually start to just smell not in its fullness. So store them in the fridge. But you can also use, oh my goodness, I mean, there's so many applications. You can use citrus oils in dressings. salad dressings, marinades. You could put lime, for example, in guacamole. Anything that's calling for lime in a recipe, you could use your lime oil. And this is a whole world that happens when you get involved using oils, right? You just start to look for all these ways to use them. So I'll just finish off there. Here's the diffuser. I would pop the lid back on. And hold on. Gotta turn this guy around, and then now it's fired up. And you can change the light settings. And there's just a nice mist coming out there. And again, if you take off the seal, if you do that tip that I mentioned, just be careful when you're walking around because this lid will come off really, really quickly. So that wraps up the kit, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. And if you'll notice I pinned a comment here. You can see the products I just went through with you guys. And I'll upload this as a video. I'll save it here if you want to come back and look, because it's fun to learn new things from people. I've been living this lifestyle now for so long that sometimes there's things that I rattle off with, just quickly. But when you're hearing it for the first time, it can be like, wait, what? And you want to go back, right? And just rewind. So it's easier, if you've been watching this live, I'll store the recording here and I'll upload the recording to YouTube. I don't know if this product is going to sell out in the next week. I'm so bummed that these other ones have, but they will be back. It's just temporary that they're out. So I would say if you're not wanting to miss it, it may sell out. So I would jump on it. If I'm the person that's been guiding you so far, I've got that info here, wholefit.com/oils. You'll find this specific summer kit, but I can also create a custom kit for you. If none of these products I went through today excite you, then I didn't do a very good job today. But I would be happy to create a kit more specific to your needs. And I do love helping people get started this way. So let me just pop one more link for you guys, wholefit.com/custom kit. And I have a form there you can fill in, and I'll create and design a kit for you. And doTERRA has other kits you can start with that they've designed too. But real quick, the way this ends up going is you get started in whatever way you want with whatever kit of products you want. And then you don't have to order monthly, but you have a whole year of purchasing doTERRA at 25% off whenever you want to shop from your own store. Now, they do have a monthly ordering program where you can earn free product and free shipping on your orders, but that's optional, but also fabulous, especially if you're really looking to get into this lifestyle. And it's truly, I'll finish off by saying what I started off by saying, and that is there are very few brands and products in my home that if they went away tomorrow, I would feel sad about. Like we have things we use and we use them just because we use them. There's obviously appliances, things that I love, but when it comes to natural health products, things that are actually serving the health in my home, I would be so sad to not have access to these products anymore. And that is why, that's why I started doing this about 10 years ago. And it's why I love teaching about this, because I know once you get started in one area, it just starts to domino into lots of others. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. If you don't have any questions, let me just scroll up. I think it's mostly comments. I'm happy to stay on for a few minutes if you guys had any questions from the class. But it looks like we avoided that storm. I was able to stay on. Okay, yeah, you're welcome. I use my oils every day. So yes, I would be in big trouble. Yeah. Oh, great. I'm so happy. What's one thing you learned? Was there something new you guys learned today? I know we've got some seasoned doTERRA people on here, which is awesome. A few weeks ago, I took a sourdough class and I felt so overwhelmed, right? It was just like a whole world I had never learned about. And the person teaching the class was awesome. I think I shared this actually last week with you guys, but it reminded me of how exciting it is to be a beginner again. And also how cool it is to be able to learn from somebody who's just living what they're teaching. And that's why I like to show up for you guys, because I personally love to learn so much. But more than that, I love when I apply something and actually feel great benefit from it. And that's why I show up and teach and share when I've had those, those pivotal moments in my life. And that's what doTERRA is to me. It's been such a blessing in so many ways. And so anyway, I just thought this would be a fun way to help some of you get started. I know I see a few of you on here who started with this kit last week when I first created it. Anyway, all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We're off to make a nice dinner.